Is it starting? Okay, hello everyone. So this is Edward, and today we're gonna talk about a software that can be useful for our future classes. So this is what we call SketchUp. SketchUp is developed by Google, and this software is used to create 3D models. So it could be for creating, let's say, a simple 3D shaped object, or could be complicated, but in reality, it's being used for making designs of buildings in architecture. So students use this a lot in making their own digital models of what they want to create in the future. So today I'm going to demonstrate like the basic use of this. So once you registered, you have to go to app.sketchup.com, and then there's an app that you can use directly, and you don't need to download anything. So you will see there's a side toolbar with all the tools that you need. So upon loading the or creating a new project, you will see something like this. So there's a person. So the reason why there is a person is like a point of reference, so that if you are making a building, you know how a normal person would look like next to it. So this is also important for scaling because uh, for the sake of having like standardized size for all your models. So here we have a model of a person. So you can use him as a reference. You can scale him as well. But yeah, that's the point. He will be 1:1. So his size will be 1:1 with the person if you zoom it in. Okay, here we have like a tool that you use for selection. This is, if I'm not mistaken, eraser tool. So we have pen tool for creating lines. Okay, so you can build something like this to build shapes, to draw shapes. All right, so as you can see, we just made something like this. It's a flat shape. All right. This one, I think it's also for making shapes, but it's more like 2D, and you can make flat objects with this. Now, this is really important. This is the tool that you use to extrude your shapes. So what it does is, from being flat, you are able to make it grow. So you can either make it long like this, or you can either do it the opposite way, like that. And then it works by panel. So as you can see, I made two shapes. So this one will work, can be like this, and the other shape can go this way. So there, that's the point of that. And then it doesn't limit to just manipulating one thing. It can also be used to manipulate like this as well. So all the panels can be manipulated. So this is why it's very useful. And this is the most used tool, I think. This one is more like manipulating a panel into a location. So it will not change the size, but it will move the position. So like this. And the others will stretch along with it. So it could be like that. This one I believe is for rotation. So we can also rotate a panel. Again, it's working by panel. So if you click this, and then you can now rotate, and you can rotate it. So it's good for making abstract shapes and yeah, for any purpose that you want. Unlock plane. If I'm not mistaken, this is for resizing. So you can select it also to resize. This one is a paint bucket tool. So primarily used to change the colors. So by default, you have basic colors. As you can see, they are mostly earth colors like this green and then blue and then orange like that. So you can make something like that, or you can actually have actual textures. So there's 3D wherein it has shape. It has the texture of, I don't know, like plastic or water. I don't know what you call this, like that. And we also have like actual texture of real life objects such as concrete. Mm, oh shit, like this, or could be glass or mirror, like this, or like this. Could be fence, and if you zoom in, yeah, it's kind of look like that. So you can also make grass. So you can imagine how it can be used, primarily for designing buildings, wood, and then windows. So you can do something like that. And this one is for just basically manipulating the space so that you see all the angles properly. And then we're gonna work on the actual like position, like if it's supposed to be left or right and so on. This tool is for measuring, so you will be able to manipulate the, or you'll be able to see how long something is, and that can be useful for measuring to ensure that it works. So there are other tools that we can use, but these are not really that important. So what's important is primarily just the ones that you can see by default. Okay. So once you're done, you can save your design, and then it's gonna ask you if you want to purge the items that are not really used. So you can purge them, so delete them, and by doing that, you have your project that saves already. So let's see what other things we can do. We can save it as, we can export this into other format depending on where you're gonna use it next, for 3D printing or for further designing with other software. You can also download this as PNG, but it will ask you like what angle you want it to be taken. So let's say like this. Or could be by default you can select like the orientation, so it could be like that. And then you export as PNG and you just export like that. Okay, so as for education, I think there are many uses, particularly in media classes, for designing. As for other classes, I believe they can use it for visualizing like concepts. Like if they want to design, let's say, rockets, and they want to design concepts that can be um, physically seen, then definitely this is something that everyone can use. So it really will depend on how you as a teacher can make use of all the tools here. But basically, it's just modifying shapes into something that can be visualized. So it's really up to you. So I think that's all for now. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.